All right, welcome everyone to the October 6th Rules Committee meeting. And I'd like to get started by having introductions, and we'll start with Ms. Hampsey, please.
Colleen Hampsey, Council Research.
Carla Schell, Office of General Counsel.
Trista Carraher, Council Auditor's Office.
Ken Amaro, City Council, District 1.
Randy White, District 12.
Terrence Freeman, at large, Group 1.
Chris Miller, at large, Group 5. Good afternoon.
Ron Salem, Group 2 at large. Mike Gay, District 2.
Michael Boylan, District 6.
Kevin Carrico, District 4.
Nick Howland, at large, Group 3.
Matt Carlucci, at large, Group 4.
Thank you all very much, and welcome, Mr. President, Mr. Vice President. Appreciate you being here today, and everyone else. We're going to start with public comments. You'll be allowed up to 3 minutes, and if you could stay on the bills that we're actually considering today, I would appreciate it. And I'll read them off in order, and if you could just come up whenever the person in front of you is finished, that would be appreciated. First person is John Scott, then Melody Bolduc, April Carney, Reggie Blunt, and Anthony Ricardo. So Mr. Scott, please, you have up to 3 minutes. Thank you. Please start off by stating your name and your address for the record.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, good afternoon. My name is John Scott. I'm a proud resident of Southside in District 4, and my address is on file. I rise today and join the school board in support of Resolution 2025-0695. Specifically, this resolution would express City Council's support for Local Bill J1, which amends the charter authorizing the school board to retain independent general counsel. Currently, the Consolidated Government's Office of General Counsel represents the school board. As the only independent agency within the consolidated government whose budget is not subject to the approval of City Council, it makes sense for the General Counsel to be independent from the OGC or its opinions. This is a narrowly tailored bill which will allow only the school board more autonomy and specificity in choosing a General Counsel. Specifically, you want a lawyer who is not only a subject matter expert and even possibly board certified in education law, typically would not be sought throughout the hiring policies of the Office of General Counsel, but could be sought through the school board, but one who also understands that the board shares positions that may be contrary to local government, including the mayor's office. With management of a $1.5 billion budget, the school board needs an independent counsel who can focus his or her needs and attention on the school board's priorities, free of interference. As you may know, this bill passed out of neighborhoods this morning with bipartisan support, something that many have decried does not happen here these days in this chamber. Let's all come together and support this resolution. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to celebrating with you tomorrow on Victory Tuesday.
Thank you, Mr. Scott. Next, school board member Bolduc, please.
Good afternoon, City Council. My name is Melody Bolduc, and I'm honored to serve as a member of the Duval County School Board. I rise today to speak in strong support of the J-Bill, the local legislation that will allow our elected school board to retain its own independent legal counsel. This step is both prudent and necessary for good governance. It reflects the principle that each constitutional officer or consolidated government must have access to objective, client-centered legal advice that's free from divided loyalties or competing obligations. The Office of General Counsel does extraordinary work for the city as a whole, but the school board's constitutional role is distinct. We are charged by the people with setting policy for public education, overseeing nearly 130,000 students, 7,000 teachers, and an annual budget exceeding $2 billion. Our decisions impact not only classrooms, but neighborhoods, families, and the whole future workforce of Jacksonville. When questions arise about contracts, land use, funding formulas, or employee rights, our duty requires legal guidance that answers to the board itself, not to multiple entities with differing priorities. That is not a criticism, it's a recognition of reality. Independent counsel ensures that our board can act with clarity, accountability, and confidence, always keeping the needs of our students and our taxpayers first. I especially want to thank Chairwoman Charlotte Joyce, whose leadership and perseverance have guided this process with transparency and integrity. She has championed the cause of local control, ensuring that our community's educational governance remains responsive to the people who elect us. This bill strengthens, not weakens, our consolidated government. It brings our district into alignment with best practices statewide, where school boards across Florida already retain their own attorneys. It also provides the necessary clarity for intergovernmental cooperation, reducing conflicts and delays. In closing, I urge you to support this legislation, not as a partisan issue, but as a matter of principled governance. The children and families of Duval County deserve a school board empowered to serve them with independent judgment, unconflicted advice, and unwavering focus. Thank you for your time and your partnership and your continued commitment to our schools. Have a great day.
Thank you. Would you state your address or just say that it's
Sorry.
on file?
It's on record.
Okay,
on
thank
file.
you. Next is School Board Member Carney, please.
Good afternoon. My name is April Carney, and my address is on file. I am a current Vice Chairman of the Duval County School Board that represents City Council Districts 3 and 13. I charge you all today to be in support of our J bill requesting to amend the charter in order for us to have our own independent legal counsel. We are the only school board in the 67 counties of the state of Florida that do not have this opportunity to hire our own qualified and certified educational attorney. It is my belief that this is putting us at a disservice, that we do not have an opportunity like the other 66 counties to find someone that represents educational law and the school board in which it's needs help with policy language and other issues that come before us. I have found in my time serving on the school board, when around other districts in this state, that we are at a disservice even having conversations because we do not have the opportunity to be outside of the Office of General Counsel to seek advice. While I concur with my colleague, Ms. Bolduc, the Office of General Counsel does a fabulous job for the city, but I do believe because the budget is not approved by the city of Jacksonville, that gives us the opportunity to hire our own counsel. So again, I ask for you all to have support for this J bill, and I appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. School Board Member Blunt is next, please.
Good evening. My name is Reginald Blunt. I represent School Board District 5. My address is on file. For such a time as this, I believe that our school district needs a change, a minor change, but a change. In 1968, we consolidated the city of Jacksonville into the county. And since that time, the school district has enjoyed, obviously, a good relationship with the Office of General Counsel. However, change is not bad. What we're asking is not some unorthodox anomaly. It is simply asking that we have the opportunity to pick our own general counsel because of some of the complex issues that we deal with, and having an expert that we have faith and trust in to represent our school district. I believe the citizens, I believe our students, our teachers, and I just believe Jacksonville overall, and you as the council should give us that opportunity in this J bill to actually get our own general counsel. I believe that change is good, and I believe that change will be profitable for our school district. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, I have on this card, School Board Member Ricardo, you checked the block, I do not wish to speak. Is that still the same, or would you like to speak? Okay, thank you. Then that concludes our public comment period. If those of you up here on the dais will refer to our order of agenda items, we'll first take up the reappointments, starting with item number 11 on page 9. And, there he is. I saw him here earlier, and he's now returned, so that's good. Would Mr. Williams Bay please come forward? This is bill number 2025-0694. I have a motion and second on the bill. Mr. Williams Bay, if you would state your name and address for the record, and also tell us a little bit about yourself. Normally on a reappointment, you wouldn't need to be present, but we thank you for coming because we could not verify your record for attendance, not only yours, but overall, the attendance records were misplaced, not able to locate any of them. And so thank you for coming forward. And if you could include that in your remarks, how many of your meetings you've been able to attend, either percentage or numbers, that would be helpful. But again, if you just state your name and address for the record and a little bit about yourself and your desire to continue serving. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Hallie Williams Bay, address 1567 West 9th Street, Jacksonville 32209. Born and raised here in Jacksonville, went to high school here, left high school, went Marine Corps, went to Vietnam. Very active with the American Legion of VFW. I attended every meeting we had with saying, except for maybe January, February, when I had some situations with my wife, had some medical issues. But it was a beautiful thing to be there. Last year, I learned a lot about the city of Jacksonville. I learned a lot about our elders. Our elders is me being one of them too also. We going through a lot of medical issues, a lot of problems in life right now. We have no one to really talk to. So it was a blessing for Councilman Peluso. Asked me to serve on the board. I've learned a lot this past year, and I look forward to sharing my knowledge and what I've learned over the years and with my fellow senior citizens.
Thank you very much. We have Council President Kevin Carrico in the queue. You're recognized, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to be added as co-sponsor. I had a chance to work with Mr. Bay, as I used to call him, back at the Claire White Mission when I was Vice President of Operations over there. Mr. Bay helped out with the veteran program and gave his all to that program and all the people that he came in contact with. And I know him to be a fine, upstanding person in this community. So I want to just echo that to everyone so you know what we're dealing with, and definitely want to be a co-sponsor. It's good to see you, Mr. Bay.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I don't see anyone else in the queue, so I'll make a couple comments before we go to a vote here. I'll echo what the Council President has said. Every veterans event just about that I go to, you're there with your brothers, proudly serving, and so I thank you for your previous service and your continued service, and thank you for stepping up again for this reappointment to the Elder Board, Elder Affairs, rather.
Elder Affairs, right.
And so, we have another person in the queue, and I will pass things over to Councilmember Amar. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Very quickly, I too would like to be added as a sponsor, a co-sponsor. I heard Mr. Bay say that he attended all the meetings except 2, so I'm satisfied with his attendance, and known Hallie for a minute as well, and I think he's a devoted public servant. So if he can serve in this capacity, that would be awesome.
Thank you. Before we go to a vote, I'd also like to be added as a co-sponsor, definitely. So no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your action, you've approved 2025-0694. Thank you, Mr. Williams Bay. Appreciate you coming in today. And
Thank you. Appreciate
again,
it.
thanks for your service. We'll now turn to page 11, item number 13, 2025-0707. I have a motion second on the bill. Does Mr. Davis happen to be here? doesn't need to be. 90% attendance. We have one speaker in the queue. The committee vice chair, Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And going through this in my pre-agenda meeting, I asked the question about a conflict. Mr. Davis, who I hold in high regard, does great work in research and had a contract with the city, if you all recall, where he was reviewing. And so I did not know if there would be a conflict having a contract with the city and then serving in this capacity where there's severe overlap. It's been brought to my attention now that his contract ended in June, which then gives me a little angst because that tells me then there was a little conflict previously while he was serving on the board and doing work for his company to, I guess, come back with recommendations for us and that board to consider. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't have a problem with Mr. Ennis personally or serving, but had this been any other type of scenario, I'm pretty sure it would have been on the front page of the news. And in this situation, it wasn't. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. No one else in the queue. Please open the ballot and record your vote.
Seven yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0707. We'll now go down one to item number 14, 2025-0708. We have a motion and second on the bill. Does Ms. Ott happen to be here? She is here. Would you like to come up and speak, or just only if we have questions? Okay, very good. Anyone in the queue? Yes, we have Council President Carrico, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ms. Ott is at basically every committee meeting and city council meeting and very well informed of what's going on downtown in her role at Build Up Downtown. So I think it's a great person to have on our DDRB. And I'm not going to make you come down, but you know I'm thinking about it, right? All right. Add me as a co-sponsor. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. I see no one else in the queue, so I'd like to be added as co-sponsor, and also I'll make a comment since I've been the council liaison to DDRB. I've been able to see her work firsthand and runs great meeting, has a great attitude, has the experience that you'd want in someone leading this effort for these important projects coming through DDRB, and so I 100% support her in this reappointment. With that said, let's please open the ballot and record your votes.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0708. Thank you, Ms. Ott. We'll next go to item number 15, 2025-0709. We have motion second on the bill. Does Mr. Dawson happen to be here? He is not. Okay. We have Vice President Howland. You recognize?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I just want to advocate for Mr. Dawson. He's a developer by profession and does a great job on DDRB, and he's a friend. I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Jessica, if I could, please. Thank you.
And me as well, please. And again, observing Mr. Dawson, he's done a great job as well. So there's no doubt in my mind he's in the right place serving us. Anyone else? Okay, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0709. If we'll now turn to page 10, item number 12, 2025-0695. We have a motion and second on the bill. We have Council President Carrico. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to just speak a little bit about this bill. It's something that I did bring forward as a part of the J-bill process. Started with some conversations with our school board chairwoman, Ms. Joyce, and then further conversations with our representatives in Tallahassee. Really just getting behind this. A couple things that were mentioned, we're the only county that's currently not able to hire our own representative for our school board. And one thing when me and the chairwoman were speaking was the ability to recruit someone. So if you have 67 other counties where you have an attorney that could maybe move to a larger county, they're in FRS at those other places. When they come to the city, they're not in FRS. They're going to be on the city pension program. So I believe in having the best and the brightest people to do the work, the important work, especially at the school board. So I think this kind of just unlocks a few things that will help us get to that point. And I know the chairwoman is here, so I really just like to turn it over to you if you have anything to add. And obviously, all you can ask questions, but that is the genesis of why I decided to file this, to get this through the process in Tallahassee. I'll turn it over to you, if that's all right, Mr. Chair.
Yes, please.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Through the chair to Council President Carrico, I appreciate your support and sponsorship of this bill. As I said earlier in the Neighborhoods Committee meeting, the reason why we got here was our long-term board attorney, Mr. Ray Poole, resigned from the position in April, and so we had to open that applicant pool up to replace him. We only received 4 applications. And none of those applicants were board certified education law attorneys. Mr. Poole is a board certified education law attorney and a board certified labor and employment law attorney. Our previous longtime board general counsel was Miss Karen Chastain. She was also a board certified education law attorney. We believe as a district that because of the setup, of the way the structure is, number one, the attorney does not report directly to the board, reports to the Office of General Counsel for the City of Jacksonville. Number two, because of the FRS retirement system, we cannot offer that retirement piece to a qualified attorney that does this work. So if you are a qualified board certified attorney in Orange County and you have experience, say 15, 20 years, this is the kind of person we want because we, again, are one of the 7 largest districts in the state of Florida. That person is probably not going to apply, and they didn't. As I said earlier, we have 47 board certified education attorneys in the state of Florida, and not one of them applied for this position. We believe by this change in the charter that we will grow that applicant pool. We will have the most qualified attorney to guide the board in our legislative and policy matters. And so that would be beneficial to not just to our board, but the citizens of Jacksonville, Duval County, and our students as well. And so we are also, I know that in our resolution, we also cited a court case, Duval County versus the City of Jacksonville, where the 4th Judicial Circuit Court ruled that the school board was established and operated as a constitutional independent county governmental agency. The consolidated government in Jacksonville has not changed the status of Duval County School Board under Florida law, that the school board has maintained its fundamental independence, and that the school board has the right to independent counsel in the court proceeding. And so we believe also that because we are an independent agency, the City Council does not approve our budget. Also, we are 7 elected constitutional officers. We are just requesting the same thing you guys have. You have in the charter that you can hire your own general counsel's office, and we are asking that you would change the charter provision to allow us to have that same opportunity as the City Council has.
Thank you very much, Chair Joyce. We'll now go to the queue. We have 3 people lined up here. We'll first start with Committee Vice Freeman, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Ms. Joyce, you don't have to stand there anymore. Thank you so much for coming. One, I fully support this, and I'll tell you why. One, I love common sense, and this is basically a common sense approach to solving a solution. More importantly to me, for two reasons. We all say that we want the best for kids. As a former educator, here's an opportunity for us to take a stand and do what the elected members of that body believes is the best. I support it for that reason. And two, this is something that hasn't been done on the council in quite some time, and Council President Carrico is taking steps to do it. I believe Councilmember Salem, past President Salem did it his year, but is continuing to establish a relationship and strengthening and a partnership between us as the council and that elected body as a school board on behalf of our whole city. So I would like to be added as a co-sponsor. Thank you all for sitting through 2 meetings today. I definitely hope that it was entertaining for you, and you will be able to get back to your regular day's work after this vote. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to Councilmember Boylan, please. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Joyce, if you wouldn't mind, come on back up. First of all, thank you for taking the time after this morning's meeting with me to help me better understand the challenge you all face. But again, my concerns remain. Number one, obviously the tradition of the charter and maintaining it, number one. Number two, the disparity that may happen if you have your own OTC and our Office of OTC and the staff that works for you all may be in conflict in terms of an opinion. I'm not going to offer this as an amendment today, but I think it's something we need to think of. I mean, notwithstanding the FRS issue, and the possibility that a successful change to the charter may not happen in Tallahassee, would you consider a scenario whereby the OGC appointed someone that required approval of the full board of the board of the school board? So they appoint, you approve, much like we do across the board for many of those positions. And then secondly, also have the opportunity, if you feel it's not working, with a supermajority vote of your body, we could ask for this person to be replaced or removed. So I'm not offering a suggestion today. I think it's something that can run in parallel. If the JBL moves forward, and likely it will, we might want to take a look at how do we keep this under the radar, get it done in an expedited fashion, and going in that direction. So just give some thought to that. I'm going to be consistent, as I told you this morning in our meeting. I stand where I am right now because of those two concerns I have. But I think there is an opportunity to address this in a different way that gives you the satisfaction and the board satisfaction that they have a handle on the work of the OGC within the board. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll next go to Council.
Sorry, if you want to comment, it's really more of a point for you to think about if you want to. If you want to comment it, go ahead, but give some thought to it. That's all I'm suggesting.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And through the chair to Councilman Borland, thank you for meeting with us, our team today, so we could clarify some of those things. I believe that the general counsel for the school board needs to report to the school board. We are, again, 7 constitutionally elected officers. We have our own budget. And so whereas other interagencies within the charter report to you, you approve their budget. I can see where that would be something that would be concerning. But I think because we are so independent, that it would be better, not just for this board, but for future boards, to be able to hire, manage, and take care of the school board business through offering that, hiring their own attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll next go to Councilmember Amaro, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Since neighborhoods, I've had the opportunity to meet with Ms. Joyce and the other board members, and my concerns are still the same. I see this action in this kind of a paradoxical remark because I understand why the board feels it needs to be able to hire its own general counsel. But at the same time, I philosophically see this as a dismantling of the charter and creating a kind of a slippery slope, if you will, and I don't think it strengthens this consolidated government that we've had in place for the last 57 years. I think it begins to weaken this government, and so I've got some serious problems supporting the bill going forward, even though I would love them to have their own attorney. Which brings to Ms. Joyce just cited the case of 2019, where I would believe it would become case law if the ruling said that you can do it. So why don't you just do it without having to amend the charter?
Thank you for that question through the chair to Council Member Amaro. We are prohibited from doing that because of the charter. We are not allowed to hire our own attorney. This case, the charter, this is why we're asking for the change in the charter. Because when this happened, I went and asked General Counsel Mr. Fackler. We had an opportunity under an opinion from Cindy Lacadera that we could have our own board attorney. We paid the salary. They were under FRS. And so I asked before I came before you and before the board to say we need to get the charter changed, because I was given the opinion that we were not allowed to do that. So we asked for permission to obtain our own attorney under a previous resolution from the General Counsel's office, and we were denied that opportunity to do that. And so in my opinion, I think in the board's opinion moving forward, this protects the board from another, a subjective opinion. And that's why we would request that you would support this.
Through the chair, and if I heard you earlier today in our office as well, that you will still, even if this goes through Tallahassee and all that, and you get the green light, you will still need the services of General Counsel.
Correct.
And so having your own attorney doesn't fulfill all the needs of the school board.
So through the chair to Council Member Amaro, our attorney, Mr. Poole, our previous General Counsel, we consulted him every day on matters before the board. He also was a consultant to our superintendent, or legal advice from our superintendent and from our senior staff. He went over governance issues with us, talked about sunshine law issues, agenda items, the legality of all of that based on Florida state law. And so in this, under this system, we would still consult and work with our General Counsel, and then our General Counsel would determine at that point whether that is something that the OGC's office would handle for us. So generally anything litigation-wise, if it's a employment issue, a real estate closing issue, personal injury issue, we would still use the Office of General Counsel. But he would decide based on what those needs are.
Through the chair, just very quickly, thank you for what you do. I really appreciate it. I pride myself on being pragmatic about a number of things, and there's 67 counties in the great state of Florida. There's only one with a consolidated government that I know of, and because of that, we've become the bane of complaints, but we'll also become the source of envy by so many. And I just looking through my lens of pragmatism, I just see this as becoming an opportunity to weaken what has held fast for 57 years. So you'll get the votes to get through, and then you'll have to go to Tallahassee, and I hope that I'm wrong. I just feel when you start amending the charter, you just open Pandora's box. So, thank you.
So through the chair, may I respond? Through the chair to Mr. Merrow, I know we discussed that earlier in your office. And again, I just want to reiterate that I believe we're different because we are a body of 7 elected constitutional officers, and that we don't have our budget approved by the by the city council. And so if there is a matter of litigation, that's not going to concern. We pay all of our legal bills. We settle all of our legal matters within our own budget. So I think that, I also think that the precedent is the charter says that you can have your own counsel. That's what makes us different. And if the Transportation Authority wanted to have their own counsel, they would have to go through a process. I mean, it's not changing their the ability for them to do it. It's changing just the ability for us to do it. And there would be a process they would have to go through if they wanted to do that.
Thank you very much. We'll next go to Councilmember Gay, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As earlier in neighborhoods, I supported this, and I still support it, and I think it's the right time to do the right thing. We've got a school board that's got their own elected officials. They need to have the latitude and the ability to govern within their own realm over there on how they need to govern. And, you know, we want them to be effective and efficient, and this is basically giving them the means that to achieve that. Not saying that they'll still utilize the general counsel for other matters that are administrative or real estate, as Chairman Joyce said, but having the ability for that board to be able to address and respond with their own general counsel that understands school board principles and policies, that not just a general lawyer, but a specialized lawyer. And so I think that's critical for them to be able to govern like they are elected to do. So with that, I'll be supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll next go to Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a point that I don't think has been emphasized enough is the incremental approach of what the school board is doing. They want to hire one attorney. And I said this morning, and I'm still very supportive of the process. They will continue to use the Office of General Counsel for many other services, litigation, whatever comes up that and I think I heard this morning there are 3 or 4 attorneys within the General Counsel's office that will still be supporting the school board, and they pay for that through their own revenue, and they'll pay for this attorney through their own revenue. So it's I'd be probably a bit more concerned if it was a complete carve-out and we're leaving completely. This is just one attorney, and I believe the reasons for it with FRS, particularly wanting to recruit themselves. I was in corporate America for 45 years, and I spent a great deal of time recruiting because I knew recruiting made my job easier. If I hired the right person, I didn't have to work as hard, and I knew the job was getting done correctly. And I think that's what they want to do. They want to recruit for this person themselves. And recruiting is just not posting a position. Recruiting is getting on the phone, calling other counties and figuring out if they have more than one attorney and are you interested in all those types of things. And I believe this board wants to do that. And I think we should give them that right to do it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll next go to visiting Councilmember Carlucci, and thank you for your patience.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Council Chairman Miller. Look, I have always been a friend of the school board, and I don't think anybody down there knows that if they've asked me to do something, I haven't given it 150% of my effort. But I have paused on this one, and I'm going to explain why, and I'm sure they're going to have the votes, and we'll go to the legislature, and you're going to get the votes. But this is my concern. It's a major break with our charter and consolidation, and that's going to set a precedent for authorities or whatever entities that we have to do the same thing. We need to protect our charter. We need to protect our consolidated government, and I see that starting to crack, not because of the school board, but because of other things I see as I stand and sit on the city council. Now, the school board, you'll have your own attorney, but a lot of the work that your attorney is going in policies that attorney will put forward is going to wind up in our attorney's lap, the general counsel. And so, in fact, the general counsel now is going to have two bosses. It's going to have the boss over in the school board building, and then it's going to have our general counsel who is overseeing their work. And if the two don't come together, then there could be the possibility of a lawsuit from the school board over to the city. And Ed Austin said many years ago, our former mayor, that the general counsel's office was the glue that held together city government and school board government, the whole kit and caboodle. And that bothers me. I could probably support this if our general counsel still had binding authority. But without our general counsel having binding authority, we're going to have two heads, two bosses. And I see a clash that could very well possibly come because school board handles some tough issues. I get that. And the binding authority is that glue that holds this city government together, including school board. So your attorney will be basically sending work to us, and if we don't want to do that, or if we don't think if it has problems with our attorney, then that's going to make for a mess. And all I've heard said today was what wonderful work our general counsel does. I've not heard anything bad about what our general counsel does, and I've never heard it for a long time. And I've kept close eyes on the school board because I got kids, like a lot of us do, in the school system. This has a lot of red flags to it. But if they would accept an amendment to this, that our general counsel would still have binding authority over the attorney that you hold, I probably could support it. But otherwise, we're going to have two bosses, and that's not going to make for good government. It's going to make for fractured government, and it's clearly against what the charter and what the spirit of consolidation is. And I've grown up in it. I know what it's about, and I know how important it is to the future. And each and every one of us and school board members should be guarding and protecting the spirit of what consolidation means to the city of Jacksonville. So for that reason, I can't support it. If anybody's willing to support such an amendment, I would be very happy with that, because I want to work with you, always have. But there comes the line that sometimes I can't cross because of principle. And consolidation is a very big principle, as is our charter. Thank you.
Thank you. No one else in the queue. I'll wrap this up. I support this, and I thank you all for coming and explaining, and also at both committees. I support them being able to choose a lawyer of their choice, just like any one of us that would go somewhere for a lawyer. You wouldn't only take someone who was given to you, and in this case, augmenting the wonderful support that they already receive in all of the vast areas that they need legal advice for. I think it's a win, actually, by having an additional lawyer that can augment the lawyers they already have from general counsel supporting them. So I will be supporting this. Oh, okay, not on the queue, but we'll be shifting over to Vice President Howland, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I push it. It must not be showing up, but I apologize for that. I also, this morning in neighborhoods, I was an ex officio voting member assigned by the president, and I voted for this. It was an easy call for me because our elected school board members, a majority of them, feel that this move is the best move for them to deliver optimal educational outcomes for our students. Plus, I feel that since they're separately elected and we don't approve their budget, they're unique enough where this is not going to affect other elements of the consolidated government. I know of no others that are both elected and we don't approve their budget. Supervisor elections, for example, is elected. We approve their budget. Every other elected independent authority or constitutional official, we approve their budget. The school board, we don't. So I think it's sufficiently distinct enough that I'm clearly willing to support it, and I wish our school board colleagues the best. Thanks.
Thank you. Please open the ballot and record your votes.
Six yeas, 2 nays.
By your actions, you have approved 2025-0695. I'll now recognize past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through the Chair to General Counsel, Carla, does a J bill have to have a vote of the City Council before it goes to the state legislature, or could they go directly to the state legislature? And does it require a majority of the City Council to move forward? Can you just clarify that for me?
Sorry, through the Chair to Councilmember Salem. So I'll take that one since Ms. Carla hasn't had a chance to work as much on the J bills, although it's on her list of exciting endeavors for her in the future. So there's nothing within the published J bill process that requires a J bill come to the City Council to lend its support or opposition to the bill. But, however, they have always come to the City Council in the form of a resolution, which, as you might see in this instance and in the instance of the other J bill that's before you this cycle, where the council is stating its support or opposition to the bill in general. However, I don't know that there's anything that would preclude an individual or a proponent at the local level from wanting to bypass that because the process doesn't require it. That being said, I don't know that the delegate sponsor would want to allow a bill to be processed further at the state, not having had it come through the City Council for that action and position to be offered, specifically where it would address the city's charter. I just have a hard time believing a sponsor would not want that to be a part of the process.
I understand why they would want it, but I just want a clarification. Is it required? Apparently it's not, but who would push a J bill without having the governing body support it? Thank you. That's all I was trying to clarify.
Thank you. We'll now go to page 8, item number 10, 2025-0693. I have a motion and second on the bill. Excuse me, on the amendment, rather. Ms. Carher, would you please explain the amendment?
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment that was approved this morning in neighborhoods did a couple of things. First, it striked the proposed name change. It strikes the proposed changes to the board's composition. It revises the language regarding the plan for economic development of the Cecil Airport to reflect presentation of the plan instead of submittal of the plan. It also updates the procurement thresholds within JAA's charter, which was not originally a part of the J bill, to reflect purchasing categories established in Florida Statute 287.017 as that's amended from time to time. So those changes would be for construction contracts. Currently, there's a $50,000 threshold within JAA's charter. That would reference a category, the state's category 5, which currently is at $325,000. For supplies contracts, the threshold is currently $25,000 within JAA's charter. This would reference the state's category 3, which has a $65,000 threshold. We'll correct a Scrivener's error within the bill. And lastly, attach a revised Exhibit 1, which is a copy of the local J2 bill to reflect these changes I just mentioned and correct Scrivener's errors.
Thank you very much. Seeing no one in the queue, all those in favor of the amendment.
Can I speak to it real quick? Sorry. The queue, for some reason, it's not lighting up on your...
All right, Vice President Howland, please.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. As I'm the introducer of the J bill and introduced the amendments this morning in neighborhoods, I just wanted to speak to them. Those who were in neighborhoods this morning already know. Those who weren't, I think you'll be pleased to know that we have agreed with JAA on a path forward to accelerate job creation and aerospace industry growth at Cecil Field. JAA did a wonderful job presenting kind of a past, present, and future strategy for Cecil recently at their board meeting, and I wholeheartedly agree that they've done a great job at Cecil, and they agree with me that there's so much more to be done because Cecil's such a high potential asset for our city amidst the fast-growing aerospace and space industries in our state. The path forward has been agreed by the Duval delegation, J-Bill sponsor Wyman Duggan, and basically Trista laid out the majority of it, but in return for taking out you recall there were 4 parts of this bill. There was enumerating JAA's role in Cecil Field aerospace development in the charter. There was JAA presenting us a plan every year on that aerospace development. There was the name change, and there was the requirement that one governor appointee and one mayoral appointee be from the aerospace industry. We have agreed with the airport to get rid of the name change and to get rid of that requirement for the governor and the mayoral appointee being from the aerospace industry, keeping the language in there that enumerates their role and keeping the requirement for us to bring a plan. In turn, JAA has agreed to set up an economic development committee that's going to consist of both JAA board members and city council members with 2 charges. 1 is to bring an international route to JAX, and 2 is to drive Cecil aerospace growth. So if you don't mind, I wanted to speak on this because it affects this rolled up neighborhoods amendment. But we do have the airport represented here, Mr. Chair, if you'd like to hear from them, from Mr. Stewart. I don't know, Mr. Stewart, if you'd like to make a comment in support? No? Terrific.
Yeah, he had contacted me and said he's available for questions if any of the folks here have any.
Then I just want to say I've been real pleased in the last several days with how well and excited JAA is as far as what they can do at Cecil Field. And I think this bill as amended today indicates, as I mentioned this morning in a rather cheesy and ironic way, but blue skies ahead for Cecil Field and its role in our state's growing aerospace industry. I believe Cecil Field will become a major job growth engine for Northeast Florida. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go next to Councilman Boylan. Is this on the amendment? Oh, wrong way. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You recognize.
Thank you, sir. Well, first of all, notwithstanding the blue skies comment, I wanted to commend my colleague. I was not looking forward to some respects to this morning's conversations, but clearly you and Mr. Hodges, I understand the chair, and Mr. Stewart and others at Management JAA did some yeoman work last week in order to get to a, no pun intended, a good landing on this one. So thank you for that work, and thank you, Ms. Stefopoulos, for the red line of the exhibit. It helps me understand just exactly where this is headed, and I do appreciate it. And again, my compliments.
Thank you. No one else in the queue. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. All of those opposed, no. The amendment passes. We have a motion and second on the bill as amended. Seeing no one else in the queue, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you have approved. Make sure I get the right one. 2025-0693. Okay, we'll now start with the regular order and start from the first page. I want to check with Council President Carrico because I did this before. I want to make sure we didn't miss anything that you wanted us to address.
I don't have the item number, but the Waste Pro contract.
Okay.
Is that next? Okay.
There we go. Yes, we will get there very soon. So if you could hold on a second, I'll announce the deferrals right ahead of it, and then we'll be right there. Item number 1, 2024-0627 is deferred at the request of Councilman Diamond. Item 2, 2024-0966 is deferred at the request of Council President Carrico. Item number 3, 2025-0539 is deferred at the request of Councilman Peluso. Item 4, 2025-0600 is deferred at the request of the administration. And item number 5, 2025-0601, may I hear a motion on the amendment? I have a motion and second on the neighborhoods amendment. Seeing no one in the queue, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment passes. I have a motion and second on the bill as amended. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Eight yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0601 as amended in neighborhoods. And I just wanted to add, thank you to all the parties involved. A lot of good work done here, a lot of good compromise, and landed also in a very, I think, very good place that everyone could be comfortable with. So thank you to all those who worked together on this one. Thank you, Mr. President. We'll go to item number 6, 2025-0638. We have a motion and second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
7 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0638. Item number 7, 2025-0658. We have a motion and second on the bill. I am going to turn over chair for this item so I can introduce an amendment, and I'll just turn it over, not change chairs, but just the microphone. And
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're on item 7, I believe that is,
Yes.
25-0658. Yes. You're recognized, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. I wanted to just also let everyone know this was deferred, and I deferred it so we could get input at the request of Ethics Office and Ethics Commission. They've given that input. We've incorporated that input into the revised bill. There was one area that I spoke with Ms. Oberdorfer this morning about that they still had some concerns about, and that was in adding back in the 1-hour requirement for the local training. And so we have added that back in. You'll see that in the red letter changes in the handout that each of you has. And I'm not going to go through each one of these, but I will just sum it up with one of the areas that gives the meat of what was added back in, and that is on section 15.108, paragraph alpha, and up to 1 hour devoted to updates on relevant changes to or interpretations or applications of such laws, if any, or any areas of emphasis as determined by the Office of General Counsel or the City Ethics Director. And so we've added that back in. It's in another location, as well as a couple other clarifying comments to be consistent. But I wanted to let you all know this was vetted originally. I introduced it, and then I realized, you know what, we need to give them a chance to give their input, since they're the ones that do this for a living, and a couple of you had made this comment before, and so I was happy to defer it and get that input. So there's where we are right now, and I would like to move this red letter amendment as annotated in the document you received as an amendment to this bill. We have motion and second on the amendment. We have 2 people in the queue. Past President Salem, please.
Thank you, Chair. Through the Chair, I'm confused. Is this 1 hour you're referencing here something that needs to be done live each year? Is that what you're suggesting?
What it is it could be live, but what was intended here was for the general counsel, the ethics office, to come together and capture all of this and video this so that anyone could have the flexibility to make sure if it's not received in person, by going to the full meeting that all the new council members go to, if they haven't received this 1 hour update as part of that, by choosing to go, which some of you said you want to do that every year, and that's a great option to get it in person. But by adding the flexibility, it will allow those returning council members to be able to view not only that, but also the other areas online if they choose to do so.
Okay, let me see if I can understand this. The annual training that we all have the option of doing live will have a part of it, a 1 hour sort of update on relevant changes. Correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And so if you watch the program that they put on, you'll get that 1 hour update.
Correct.
As part of your training.
Correct.
Okay. I just thought this 1 hour was somehow separate and we'd have to attend that specifically, but it is built into the program.
Well, and I will say I originally took that 1 hour section out and not entirely. We were looking at that as if needed, and that's the way it was stated in the legislation, if needed. But it was made clear there are always things that need additional emphasis. There are state law changes, other things that really everyone needs to be able to receive that information. And so when Mr. Oberdorfer pointed that out, we added back in that 1 hour requirement.
As I think I previously stated, I think I've attended the live training 6 times, my 6 years on the council. You seem like you pick up something new each time you do it. You wouldn't think that, but I have. But I will support this for those that want to view it, but I would just encourage people to do it live. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to visiting Councilmember Carlucci, please.
Thank you, Councilman Miller, and I want to compliment you on deferring the bill so that the Ethics Commission could review it. And I think their first recommendation was to just leave it as it is, but they did give some other options. And I also want to thank you for adding in the amendment that I think I was going to be suggesting today. Is that correct? If you may, through the chair, is that to Ms. Oberdorfer? The amendment that, or the language that Mr. Miller incorporated into what he passed out, is that the language that I had talked about, including the 1 hour of local training in Part B?
Through the chair to Councilmember Carlucci, the answer is I'm not entirely clear. I haven't seen a copy of the amendment other than just a few minutes ago when Mr. Teal was kind enough to hand me the copy of it. The language is definitely in there. I was trying to understand where the 1 hour, and to Councilmember Salem's question, the idea is to make the training more flexible and to provide more options to council members, so that we would still retain the one meeting that's 4 hours, so for people that want to get it over in one fell swoop. In addition to that, we're going to break it up into quarterly trainings, 1 hour session each, that total would equal your 4 hours under state law. So for those that like more manageable and smaller bites, or want a more in-depth look at a topic, or there might be an update that needed, you could come to 1 hour or a combination of all of those, and or view the recordings. We also heard some requests from some council members that they would like to have training from external organizations on occasion, and so the Ethics Commission took that into account, and they said, if you're going to do training, and this is in subparagraph B, if you're going to do training from an external organization, We are okay with that, except we want you every year to have a touch point on local, because there are certain local requirements under Chapter 15, the Sunshine Law Compliance Act in Jacksonville, and under Chapter 602, our local ethics code, that are different than what's at state, that will not be covered in the external trainings. And in addition to that, there's points of emphasis that our office knows about and OGC that we emphasize in training to make sure that the training is tailored to you. So we want a local touch point each year on a refresher or points of emphasis, and that's where the up to 1 hour comes in. If you're going to do external training in some of your years, you can do that, but one of the 4 hours, up to 1 hour of the 4 hours, has to be on a local component. That's how it fits in.
And through the chair.
And I'm sorry, if I may, to your question, ultimately, Councilmember Carlucci, what I'm not clear on is whether the new language in the amendment limits the up to 1 hour training of only updates or changes to the law, because there are times where, as Councilmember Miller was explaining, there could be not a change in the law and not an update, but there could be an issue that needs additional coverage. We have gotten a lot of questions about it in the office, or something may have come up, and we want to provide clarification and clear up any confusion or misperceptions. And I just don't want the language of relevant updates or changes to the law to be limiting to that 1 hour each year.
And that's why we ended that section with or any areas of emphasis as determined by the Office of General Counsel or the City Ethics Director. So that's anything else that you feel relevant that you want to include in there besides those specific things that were listed before that. So that's your catch-all for what your two offices determine that needs to be included.
I appreciate that. And can you please clarify for me? I didn't catch this when I was quickly reviewing the amendment. Is it in paragraph B as well? I saw that catch-all language in paragraph A,
yes,
but okay.
It is. I just didn't want to state it again.
No, that's
fine. It
fine.
is in there, and everyone will see that.
Okay.
On page 3, it's highlighted in red in the bottom third of the page.
Thank you so much. And thank you very much with my sincerest gratitude and the heartfelt gratitude to the Ethics Commission for Councilmember Miller and all of the great work he has done to bring his ideas about improving the training to the Ethics Commission and to the Ethics Office and to give them an opportunity to provide input on this bill. We really appreciate all the hard work that he's done and the opportunity to provide the input. And so to Councilmember Carlucci, then yes, if that language is in there, I'm good with it. Thank you.
Okay. Councilman Miller, let me just wrap up and say, if I had my druthers, I'd leave it just like it is, because if you can't make the meetings, the live meetings, the classroom, which I think is the ultimate, because colleagues bounce ideas off each other, and one person's question may prompt another person's question. I think that's the best way to learn, as Councilman Salem was saying. But if you can't make that, all you have to do to make it up is just go watch that classroom experience, and that's how you make it up. But with your amendment, as it is, if the way it is doesn't pass, then I thank you for including that language, because I was prepared to include that today. And thank you again for allowing the Ethics Commission to weigh in. These are some of Jacksonville's finest. They don't get paid a nickel like most commissions, but they really put their heart and soul in it. And I was especially happy to know that you had deferred it so they could weigh in. So I applaud you for putting the extra language in and for deferring it. That was truly a statesmanlike way to approach this. And that's all I have to say as a bystander. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to Vice Chair Freeman. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We're on the amendment, correct? Okay, thank you. And I'm fully supportive of the amendment. Appreciate the work that you've done. As I've stated previously, and I'll close with this, I am a huge supporter of our ethics department, and I think one of the things that's been lacking from this conversation is their accessibility. There's never been a time when I was unable to meet a meeting or make a meeting, which happens a lot when you travel for work, that they were not able to meet with me and answer any questions that I may have. So I like the fact that you're adding more flexibility to it. You're not locking in what future councils may look like. As the trend is showing, each cycle is getting younger and younger, and they're getting younger. That means they're going to probably be more like me, have family with many kids, have jobs pulling them in many different directions and responsibilities. And that used to be a stressor of mine, that at the beginning of a school year, we'd have this 4-hour block that I would have to try to judge between work, family, and doing my council service. And so they've always been able and flexible in working with me and making sure if I missed something, to Councilmember Carlucci's point, they would give me the context of how the questions were asked, why they were asked, and how the solution was resolved. So fully supportive of it. Great work. Thank you all for your sharing of information today and working with us. And if there's anything I can do to help moving forward, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you.
We'll now go to Councilmember Boylan, please.
Orford, if you wouldn't mind coming back up. We're still on the amendment. I do appreciate it. I mean, the context of the bill I'll talk about when we get there, but there are other online trainings that we have to go through that requires a little Q&A at the end to make certain we take the time to do that. And to the chair, to give some thought to this, if we can implement something to truly verify that my colleagues have taken the time. It's one easy to sit down and turn it on and go do some work someplace else in the house or wherever, without really taking the time to verifying that you understand the limitations that Sunshine Law put in place. Is it viable for your office to create that kind of component so that if someone does watch it online, there's some verification they in fact watched and listened and answered the questions properly? Even if they didn't watch and listen, if they knew the answers and they answered it correctly, they get it done. Because some of those online seminars say, if you answer this question correctly, move on to the next one, that sort of thing. Is that something we could see created here? Because I don't want to minimize the responsibility of my colleagues in understanding the Sunshine Laws. I mean, I think we as a reputation isn't very good when it comes to the general population of looking at us and saying, these people follow the Sunshine Laws to the T. Because we all know that simply isn't the case. So is that something your office can do and coordinate and implement as part of the online component? If someone wants to watch it after the fact, as they can, through answering a series of Q&As after each section to verify that they, in fact, know the answer to those questions and or have learned it through the watching of the online component.
Through the chair to Councilmember Boylan, absolutely. That's definitely something we could incorporate into our local training. And it is something that we do try to incorporate because research shows that one of the best practices for adult learning is if it's scenario-based and you have to try to apply the information to a particular set of circumstances. And that's why we use the Slido and we use different scenarios for you all during the training. But we certainly could come up with some other questions revolving for those that are watching the video to see the measure or to try to reinforce the content that was in the training. And we could do that locally. We would not be able to do that locally. I mean, we would not be able to do that in the training materials that are online for the state resources that are in the bill or in any other external association or organization like Florida League of Cities and Florida Association of Counties. And that was one of the reasons that the commission really wanted a local training touch point every year, is because the information on the State Ethics Commission website is really not up to date. Most of the videos come from 2017. 5 out of the 7 currently available were from 2017. The law hasn't changed all that much, but it's not scenario-based, and you're not asked if you understand the material. And so we do try to make it more tailored and effective, and that's why we wanted a local touch point as well.
Chairman Miller, as the introducer of this bill, I'd appreciate some consideration of some language, perhaps introduced as an amendment to the bill next week if necessary, some form of verification that council members did take the time to respond, can have testimony of showing that they're familiar with the rules, et cetera, if they watch this online. I think we're compromising the situation, and in my view, by watering down the requirements of in-person attendance. I think it sent a very bad message to our constituents out there that this is not important to us.
Yeah, I'll respond to that. I absolutely 100% disagree with you. I will say that because This is just providing flexibility for those who do have a lot going on. If we only had 1 hour and no questions, no more training like some levels of government do, then I'd maybe say there might be something to that. But that's not the case. We have 4 hours. The 4 hours are still going to be required. We don't ask any questions when you're in person. It's just a matter of location. You don't have to take a test when you're physically here. So being in person doesn't ensure you've learned or actually taken away all the points and retained them. So I get what's being said, but that couldn't be further from the truth. And for a guy who's Inspector General for many years, setting and enforcing standards and checking on standards, that couldn't be any further from the truth of my intent with this. It's just to provide additional flexibility for those after the first year, and once they've established those relationships with Kirby and her office and others and have exchanges like Councilmember Freeman said, that's the best part. It's not where you're physically located when you get to training. It's forming that relationship and being able to ask questions before you take a step you probably shouldn't take. And they've been wonderful about that. And to me, that's the most important part.
Mr. Chair, I do appreciate that. I understand the flexibility, the need for that flexibility. All I'm trying to make certain is someone's going to take the time to watch this online. I want to make sure they're actually watching it online. And the only way you can do that, I mean, you can turn on your computer and walk away from it for 4 hours. And, you know, and then sign off at the end that, oh, yes, Councilman Boylan at his office desk sat down and turned this on and watched it. And maybe not watched it. All I'm looking for is some level of verification that you watched it. And if we can't, and it doesn't impact flexibility, it's just saying, hey, yes, I sat down, I watched this, and I can answer these half a dozen questions that give evidence that I sat and watched this or understand what the limitations are in the sunshine laws. I think we're going down yet. We heard a slippery slope before about the charter. This is yet another where we are saying it's not that important for us to maintain sunshine rules and regulations. And clearly we have a reputation of not doing so as it is.
Again, I totally disagree. And you can sit there in the in-person training, have your phone, and be on your phone 4 hours and never hear a word. How do we verify that those people have retained what's been said? So I get what you're saying, and I'm open to those things, and Ms. Oberdorfer is open to the questions aspect of it. It can always be improved in person as well as online. So I think we should be looking for ways to do that, but I don't think what we have here is the way to do that. But I'm thankful Ms. Oberdorfer's open to that, and I'm sure the Ethics Commission is as well. Let's find ways to make sure it's being retained, whether it's in person or online. So we'll next go to Councilmember Carlucci, please.
Okay, thank you. Look, I'm trying to be a team player with you. You've done a good job. You've included and engaged the Ethics Commission, but I do have to say, down deep inside, as somebody who created the Ethics Commission, I know the amount of work and training that they do. You would be amazed at how many agencies they give classroom ethics training to and how much is appreciated. I think classroom is best and always will. I think online is a step backwards. I really do. You may not think that, but as somebody who has created this commission and somebody who has served on the Florida Commission on Ethics for 5 years and seen the people that have come before me who should not have wound up coming before me, and also somebody who has a personal relationship with Buddy Schultz, who was the foreman of the 2008 grand jury. They were the group that actually asked City Council and the local ethics commission to really double down on classroom ethics training year after year after year because of what they saw happen. There was ethics training before that, but it wasn't as rigid as what we have now. So in trying to work with you, I first support, as I said before, the Ethics Commission first recommendation, which was keeping our system as is. If it comes down to that's not going to happen because of your work in good faith, I will support that. But I want to put it on the record, though, that I think this is a step backwards. I think and I agree with Councilman Borland, what we did with the charter, that's a step backwards in our consolidated government. And this is what concerns somebody like me who has seen it for many years. We don't want to take steps backwards. We want to take steps forwards. And I'm concerned about the ethics and our consolidated government in this day. And I see too many red flags popping up, and it bothers me greatly. And I'm not somebody that's perfect, but I try my best. So anyway, that's wanted to just put that on the record, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Are we still on the amendment? That's what I thought. No one else in the queue? Better go. What's that? Yes. All those in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The amendment is approved. Yes, move the bill as amended. I have a motion and second on the bill as amended. Please open the ballot, record your vote. Oh, wait a minute. We have Vice President Freeman. Okay, please open the ballot and record your vote.
Five yeas, one nay.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0658 as amended, and we now turn to Councilmember Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I just want to go on the record to say I have not lost hope in humanity. I hear my colleagues and their concerns, and I pray that only time will earn their trust back in whatever issues that they're dealing with. I can say that, again, in good faith, when I miss meetings, I definitely had the support of the Ethics Department to ensure that I was getting the information, and I think that what you're offering now is going to be beneficial for future councils. I think that the men and women that are going to sit in these seats of authority are going to be men and women of integrity, and I think that they will utilize this tool as a way to continue to better serve our city. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now go to the next page, item number 8, 2025-0684. We have a motion and second on the bill. Anybody in the queue? Oh, excuse me. Somebody in the queue? Okay, thank you. No one in the queue? Please open the ballot and record your vote. Um, 0684, I believe, is what we need. You got it? Yeah, there it is. Okay, please record your votes. Thank you.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0684. Item number 9, 2025-0685. We have a motion and second on the amendment. Ms. Carher, please explain the amendment.
Through the chair to the committee, the amendment will update the fiscal year of the appropriation to fiscal 25-26 and remove the carryover language, which is not needed. We'll update the waiver of section 118-107 and also attach the required affidavit of disclosure as a new exhibit to the bill. We'll correct the reporting requirements to reflect the report being delivered in October 2025. We'll attach a revised on-file agreement to update the project budget and schedule and require funds be expended in accordance with the scope of services and correct some Scrivener's and code references within the agreement. And lastly, we'll correct the oversight department in some Scrivener's errors.
Thank you. All those in favor of the amendment, please signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The amendment passes. A motion and second on the bill is amended. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
Six yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0685 as amended. Let's see, we've already taken up all through, I believe, and please correct me if I missed something, but item 16, 2025-0740 is on second reading. Item 17, 2025-0743 is on second reading. And then item 18, 2025-0744. We have a motion second on the bill. Seeing no one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0744. Item 19, 2025-0745. Motion second on the bill. No one in the queue, please open the ballot and record your votes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0745. Item number 20, 2025-0746. We have a motion second on the bill. No one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your votes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0746. Item 21, 2025-0748. We have a motion second on the bill. No one in the queue, please open the ballot, record your votes.
6 yeas, 0 nays.
By your actions, you've approved 2025-0748. And item number 22, 2025-0750 is on second reading. Is there anything else? General Counsel, auditors, any of my colleagues? Okay, thank you very much. The Rules Committee is adjourned. Thank you.